Hi everyone, thank you for watching this tutorial. Today we will be learning this trick. This is actually a fairly simple trick once it's broken down, but it looks very visually effective. You can also do this with LED balls and it will look really cool, as you can imagine. But I still think it looks pretty cool with normal juggling balls. So step one of learning this trick, you're going to put down one ball, just have two balls. The first thing that you're going to need to do is learn how to juggle two balls in one hand. So if you can't already do that, I would recommend practice this first. This is a good trick to learn at the same time or even after you've learned 4 balls, but it's not a necessity. There are a couple of ways to juggle 2 balls in one hand, but for this trick, we're going to be doing it like this. This is called columns, where neither ball changes its position. It just goes up and down and the hand goes to the left and to the right. This is opposed to throwing them to the outside, as you would in a sort of a standard 4-ball cascade. And then the option is also to throw them to the inside like this. Anyway, as I said, for this trick, we're going to be doing columns. So practice that. The only trick to this is sort of making sure that the balls stay in their columns. As in, you might have to really work at the beginning to make sure that they don't go to the side and they collide with each other, stuff like that. But generally, it's not particularly hard to learn this. Just give it a couple of goes, practice it for a little while, and it should come before too long. It's also worth saying you should practice it in both hands, because you can do a 4-ball column pattern, which looks quite cool. And generally, even though this tunnel trick is one-sided, it's better to learn the 2 balls in one hand with both hands if you can't already. So the way that I break down this trick is, as you're doing these columns, you have a very clear outside ball and a very clear inside ball. So the movements of this hand are going to correlate with the position of the inside and the outside ball. The way that I think about it is, when the outside ball is at its peak, which means at the highest point of the throw, that's when I move this hand to the outside. So when the outside ball is at the top, I move my hand to the outside. So to demonstrate, the outside ball is the one we're looking at. When it's at the top, move my hand to the outside. So I'm just going to do that. This is just one part of the move, but it's useful to break it down like this. So when the outside ball is up, I'm going to move my arm to the outside, up to the outside. So as you can see, it goes very cleanly between them. No particular trick. It's just about getting the timing in your head, because at first you're going to be thinking, oh, the outside ball is up, oh, I've got to quickly move, and it's not going to be so smooth. But just keep those pointers as cues in your head, and before too long you'll start to get it. So the second part of this trick is the opposite of that. So first we did when the outside ball is at the top, move your hand to the outside. Now we're going to do when your inside ball is at the top, you move your hand back to the inside. So let's just go hand out. So outside ball is at the top, you go out. Now you can wait for the inside ball to be at the top, go back to the inside. You don't have to hold your hand over there. I know that that might be quite awkward, but just remember those 2 cues. When the outside ball is at the top, move your hand to the outside. Inside ball is at the top, move your hand to the inside. This is what I remember, and I just think about that and it makes it a lot more simple in my brain. So once you're getting a bit more used to that, try and link these 2 movements together. So we're going to go outside ball and then inside ball. We're going to go out and then in, correlating with the outside ball being at the top, inside ball being at the top. So out, in, out, in. So to do this, I'm pretty much just going to have my hand limp, just facing out like a zombie. So remember, we're going to go out, in, out, in. Feel free to throw the balls higher, that's easier, you're going to have way more time. Out, in, like that. So once you've done that, you've done basically the pattern. All you have to do now is add in more movements, one more at a time, and then you have to just start to flow with the rhythm a little bit. Because obviously it's not completely like this that the trick is done. It's a little bit more fluid than that. But the first thing that I'd recommend to do before worrying about fluidity is just doing this a bunch of times, just getting used to it. If you want at this point, you can hold the other ball in your hand. This is a dead ball anyway, it doesn't do anything. So this is the same as just without it. So yeah, build this up just one throw at a time. So we're going out, in, out. Then we try it again, out, in, etc. When you're beginning to get comfortable with this basic pattern, we're going to try and make the trick look a little bit smoother, a little bit more like the trick. All you have to do this, keep everything exactly the same, apart from the arm this time is not going to be going straight like this. It's going to start to go in a figure of 8 type movement. So you may have actually already been doing this naturally, because it sort of does come a little bit naturally, but if not, now is the time to implement that. And essentially the idea behind the figure of 8 is to give ourselves more time. So we can afford to throw these columns lower, and because we're throwing them lower, we have to, when the ball is at the top, instead of going directly like that, we can give ourselves more space by swooping it down and then around. And then as the inside ball is at the top, instead of going straight across, we're going to do the figure of 8 down and around like that. So we're giving ourselves more time with the trick and making it look cooler. So it's a win-win scenario. Practice the figure of 8 alone. You can just think about going round the top, down, 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 down. I'm sure you guys know how to do a figure of 8, but if you want to practice it, you can just sort of do it like this. So to add that to the pattern, instead of going straight across, think cutting under the ball by going diagonally down. And then once you've cut under, you're going to swoop up, go back round. So down, 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 down. Probably going to slow-mo this to make it better. So I hope that makes sense. If there's any questions about this trick, please ask. Final little point is just to make it look nicer. When you hold the ball, don't hold it like this and you're going like that, but hold it so you're presenting the ball to the audience or the camera or whoever you're doing the trick to. So you're holding it like this and you're going like that. So imagine this is an LED ball. By doing this, you're exposing the maximum LED, as opposed to like grabbing it, so it's like you can see the hand, but when I'm doing the figure of 8, I'm like going upside down and stuff like that. To make it cleaner, just try, imagine the ball is always facing like this, and you're doing the figure of 8 like that. This is just as a constant thought to have in your head. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like the video if you liked the video. Leave me a comment letting me know if you enjoyed it or not. Any questions, any requests for other tutorials. Thank you guys for leaving the requests so far. I do have a little bit of a backlog, but a couple of them I need to figure out how to teach in the best way before I can do it, so please bear with me, but thank you everybody that has requested a tutorial. Anyway, please subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more of these tutorials or more circus videos. Thank you for watching once again, and have a lovely day. See you next time.
Yeah.